da 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 shoot da 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 shoot da da shoot. Yeah, I can't keep doing that. Welcome to Shoot Brothers Wrestling Podcast. This is a wrestling podcast. It's online, hosted by myself, Cameron Osborne. It's also hosted by Mike the Shoot Shepherd.
Hey!
Oh, we are in the throes of not only Toronto playoffs as far as the sports world is concerned, we're also in the throes of the post WrestleMania hangover almost. You know, they don't want us to hang over very much. We have Backlash coming up soon. Of course, Double or Nothing is about a month away. Now, live from the MGM Grand and everything in between. The wrestling world never stops buzzing.
No way.
No way it does not. So let's get into our weekly wrestling action by first crowning a brand new Tweet of the Week champion. It's the Tweet of the Week. It's the Tweet of the Week. It's always important, right? Because like we've said before, a professional wrestler, you don't have to be a professional wrestler to win the Tweet of the Week. This has happened before. Famously Mark Eaton. We can all remember the man who threw all those beers to Stone Cold over all those years. Wale, famous NXT fan. You don't actually have to be a professional wrestler to win the Tweet of the Week. Which is why we are giving this week's Tweet of the Week champion to O'Shea Jackson Jr. O'Shea Jackson Jr. Who's that? You may know him as Ice Cube Jr.
So the son of Ice Cube, the famous rapper actor?
The son of O'Shea Jackson. O'Shea Jackson Jr. You may remember him for portraying his father in the film Straight Outta Compton. Great movie, by the way. It's long, it's good, it's paced very well. You know, it's very worth your time. Anyways, he came out there. A lot of things that I kind of realized all in once. First of all, his photo is him holding the old, like, Stone Cold era WWE Championship.
Okay. Yeah, like his custom
that custom belt, you know, with the blue in the middle there or whatever. Where he simply tweeted out, 1, MJF, 2, Penta, 3, Orange Cassidy, 4, Jade Cargill, 5, The Acclaimed. Those are my favorites from AEW. Who knew O'Shea Jackson Jr. was not only a wrestling fan, but a wrestling fan with pretty damn good taste. I gotta say there, too, a good mix of, that's a great starting 5 there. I'm sure, well, I guess it's 5 and a 6th man, if we're ever counting The Acclaimed in there.
No, he did everything. He threw in a woman, a tag team, a little bit of everything.
Oh, and he got the wrestling world buzzing, because, you know, right after that, CM Punk, the first to respond to the message with that meme of all the guys at the party, and one of them kind of, like, looks at him, like, and kind of, you know, like, cheeks puffed, like, oh, you did not just say that. You know, that kind of gif meme or whatever. Even CM Punk got in on the action. O'Shea Jackson Jr. would love to see you in All Elite Wrestling sometime. Who knows? Maybe, you know, AEW has yet to have that celebrity presence, which, you know, dominated WrestleMania weekend. It's only a matter of time until AEW gets their own kind of niche fan, actor, musician, somebody like that.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a couple, but nothing quite as big. I guess, Shaq and Mike Tyson, and little Ice Cube.
Little Cube.
Is he in the entertainment industry? Yeah.
Well, I remember. So he was in that. He was in that Straight Outta Compton movie.
Oh, yeah, you just said that.
I saw him in something else also. I think there was a Spike Lee movie he was in, this, like, Netflix one. He was in this very, very good movie called Den of Thieves. And when I say very good, I mean it's a very acquired taste, possibly kind of tipping on bad. But I liked it. So, O'Shea Jackson Jr., congratulations. He's coming up in that Obi-Wan Kenobi television series. So go check that out on Disney+.
All right.
And that's all I got. That's all I got. Congratulations, brand new tweet of the week champion. So let's move on through the wrestling week then, shall we? Let's go. I got a good one here for you. Let's go back to back on this one because actually we have a couple weeks to recap on this kind of, this 2 weeks edition of AEW Dynamite.
AEW, All Elite, they coming for you, Vince. Better watch out. It's too sweet.
MJF taking on Sean Dean, and Wardlow shows up. Once again, Sean Dean gets the big upset win, I think.
Yeah, MJF's, it was a count-out loss, but, hey, it's in the column.
Yeah, this Sean Dean guy, he's just like 3-0 against the Pinnacle.
Yeah, whatever is the Pinnacle these days, I'm not entirely sure, I don't think.
Yeah. So, yeah, Wardlow came out, cost him the match, so MJF's like, next week, I own your contract, I'm booking you against the Butcher. So, we'll get to that. Other than that, yeah, CM Punk and Penta Oscura had a cool match. Kind of had Punk channeling his inner lucha, doing some little springboards and even a moonsault type thing. So, cool stuff there. Punk got the win, but, yeah, just a fun match.
And do we know what the reason is for all these constant Penta name changes? Do we know this? Is there a reason? Is it a legal thing? What do we think?
I mean, I think the first time was illegal, the Pentagon. But then the second time, I think it was after he got sprayed by Malachi Black, so that turned him dark, but not joinous. I don't know. Weird stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. What was it? Oh, yeah. Samoa Joe took on Minoru Suzuki for the Ring of Honor TV title. That was the big main event there. Big reception from the fans. And yeah, this was just hard-hitting, physical match. The stiff chops, just hundreds of them.
There
Samoa
were
Joe's chest.
So bad. Yeah, this was so many. It wasn't a lot of beef in the ring. It was just a lot of
just slapping
in the ring. Yeah.
But yeah, and one thing I love about Joe is the way he gets sweaty quickly, but like every slap makes it like this mist come off him. It's like a Rocky movie. But yeah, so they beat the hell out of each other. Eventually, Samoa Joe gets Suzuki, hits the Muscle Buster, gets the win. So new Ring of Honor television champion. Samoa Joe.
And what exactly is the? Is it just kind of like a Ring of Honor mid-card title? I'm not too familiar with it.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, nothing too prestigious, but I think this is the first time he won it, making him a Ring of Honor Triple Crown champ.
Oh.
Whatever
and
that's
then
worth.
What is the name of the championship that Wheeler Yuta has?
I think that was the Pure Championship.
Okay, so that might be. I feel like that is maybe they have a couple mid-card titles down there. Maybe that one's more like a cruiserweight style. Maybe
I feel like there's some sort of a stipulation to make it like a pure match. Maybe like submission pin only. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then at the end, so Joe wins. He celebrates Jay Lethal and Jay Lethal's buddy. I forget his name. They insult him, and then the lights go out. So everyone thinks a big surprise is going to happen. They turn back on, and it's this giant. We don't know who the hell he is. No one's ever heard of him. Satnam Singh, former NBA draftee. What team? I don't know.
I had never seen this man in my life.
Yeah, I'm sure he only played like 10 games.
But he certainly looked like you should be playing basketball. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, he's tall. He's a huge guy. He attacks Joe. Didn't look very smooth. I mean, I've seen worse, but... Yeah. So basically, they beat up Samoa Joe, and yeah, kind of a controversial ending. Just this strange guy to do the lights out thing. You're expecting a surprise, and to introduce a guy no one knows who it is. It's kind of a weird way to do it.
Well, yeah, and I think just before this, or kind of like, the day before this or something, Tony Khan had let people know that we might go over TV time. So, and even Meltzer was saying, set your DVRs accordingly.
Yeah, there
might
was
go
some
over. Because obviously, I remember in the early days of AEW, I think when the Blade and Butcher debuted, it was a lights out moment, and they came back, and then there was this, nobody knows who they are. Neither did I. But it was also kind of maybe passable because it was like, okay, yeah, like we don't know who any of these people are, so you're gonna do the lights out thing, and then that's gonna happen. So maybe it just didn't quite land. Maybe it didn't quite hit the nail on the head. However, to see Satnam Singh premiere instantly when we waited 7.5 months for Veer. You know, I mean, hey, maybe lights out and Veer, maybe that would have been the way to do it. Just one kind of.
Well, people would know who Veer was though, because they hyped it up.
Yeah,
people would know Veer.
Yeah, so but we have our own resident massive motherfucker down here in All Elite Wrestling.
Yeah, but there was a prominent online negative reception to this that Tony Khan went and acknowledged after. Basically said, I shouldn't have done it that way. And, so kind of a flat ending to a good match there. Just because, that's just the way it was. The big guy shows up, no one knows who he is.
Yeah. What are you going to do, right? This can't be perfect. You're writing fucking television every single day. Every single week. Twice a week.
Every single week.
And 2 on YouTube.
So it's just...
also, one other highlight from this one, Marina Shafir. So got a submission win over... Sky Blue, I believe
Sky
it was. And then Maria Shafir's getting a match, I think, tonight, actually, coming up on Rampage. So it's great to see, half of the Goon Squad doing well.
A good half.
Doing well, yeah.
Yeah, she'll get her title match. But let's just continue over to Rampage. Where you had the Blackpool Combat Club taking on the Gun Club. 6-man tag battle of the clubs.
All we needed was the Bullet Club.
Oh, there you go. And I don't know if you noticed, the lighting was different for this show. On the crowd, they had like blue lights all over them. Looked like Smackdown. The way WWE lights the crowd.
I don't think I did, but we'll keep an eye out for that.
Just
for
a
next Rampage,
Yeah. Match was fun. Everyone's rooting for the Combat Club, chanting "Ass Boys," and eventually Yuta counters a Famouser attempt with an O'Connor roll. Nice bridge, gets the 3 for the win. Blackpool Combat Club.
We had Regal on commentary this one. We'll get Regal on commentary on the next episode of Dynamite. He's fun.
I wish he would get the full-time gig, just do commentary.
Yeah, and it's it is refreshing to hear. It's just refreshing to hear a new sound, a new one there on commentary, right? Just a new person's voice, a new opinion. Yeah, a lot of great stuff coming from the Blackpool Combat Club. Is Blackpool a place? Do we know this?
I think so. But
okay.
I'll Blackpool,
I'll
Liverpool.
I'll believe you.
You had the Butcher kill some jobber. I didn't even get his name. So doesn't matter.
Yeah. I'm gonna say his name was some jobber.
Yeah. Ruby Riott took on Robin Renegade in a rather rowdy.
You mean Ruby Soho?
Oh, Soho, yeah. Sorry. It was, so yeah. I was going overboard with the...
you were. That's okay.
I just got hooked on the R's there.
It's okay.
Ruby Soho taking on Robin Renegade.
Owen
Hart qualifier. It's because we haven't seen Ruby on TV in so long. I forgot her damn name. But looking good here. Her and Robin have similar styles, similar gear. So, yeah, pretty evenly fought match there until all of a sudden Robin rolls out of the ring, goes underneath, and then her twin sister, Charlotte, comes sliding out wearing the exact same gear, replaces Robin. The ref didn't see it. The old Bella twin magic spot.
Oh, they used to pull that one?
Yeah, until Nikki got implants. They couldn't do it anymore. But... so her sister's in. She's fresh. She beats on Ruby, but Ruby's able to hit her with the no future kick. So the sister rolls out of the ring again. Robin comes back. So she picks up Ruby, but then Soho ends up finishing off Renegade anyways. She hit like a Sister Abigail looking type move.
Would you believe that this was Ruby Soho's 12th consecutive victory? Would you believe that?
If you're telling me, I don't think you're lying. So I believe it.
I'll assume you're not lying. But you are exactly right. You forget the woman's name because we haven't seen her on television since February 2nd.
Yeah.
Weird.
Quite a while.
Yeah.
Sure. But either way, she got the win here, so she qualifies for the Owen Hart. So hopefully can do some damage there. And, these Renegade twins, that's a new gimmick. Could be a fun little thing.
And now both of these Owen Hart tournaments will be culminating at Double or Nothing, I believe.
Yeah, so hopefully I'm sure they'll have some nice big trophies and Martha Hart. And who knows? Maybe even Bret Hart. Maybe.
I think. He's going to present the trophy. He's going to hold it upside down.
Yeah, we'll see. Then the big match of the show, you had Adam Cole taking on Adam Page for his AEW World Title in a Texas Death Match. So I think this means last man standing rules, right? You have to 10 count.
Yeah, it's pretty much last man standing, anything goes, and we're in Texas, where everything is bigger.
Everything's bigger, and I'd say this could be the biggest match in Rampage history, right off the bat here. Just a big world title match here. Got plenty of time, 20 plus minutes on a 1 hour show. Both men in their jeans, so ready for a fight. Lots of weapons, chair shots, fighting into the barricade, into the crowd. Hangman grabs a beer from a fan, smashes it over Cole's head, then takes a sip. So he's just like the pre-COVID days. And then, back in the ring, Hangman grabs a chair, does a moonsault while holding the chair, slamming into Cole. That was a cool move there.
That was a good spot. Great spot there.
And then right after that, he puts the chair in the corner, slams Cole's head into it, and that busts him open. So he's bleeding. And then an awesome fan there holds up a sign that says, "My Adam is bleeding." I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't catch that. No.
You know the famous cartoon with the "My anus is bleeding"?
I do know that one. I didn't catch that at all.
Yeah, it was that character
awesome.
that said, "My Adam is bleeding." That's a perfect sign. Even no matter who got cut, you can use it. So.
Yeah, exactly, right? When it was like in their first matchup, we had "Let's Go Adam" chains.
There you go.
Fans are just having fun with it. Yeah.
Then we get a chain. Cole brings a chain in, ties it to the rope, and then he just clotheslines Page with the chain there. And we get two chairs set up. I feel like every Adam Cole match, he loves to do this spot there with the two chairs with the pointy ends up. And, of course, Adam Cole, he gets slammed on it. It's always him.
Yeah, he's never been on the offensive end of a...
Not on that one.
Not on that one.
He goes for a Panama Sunrise, but that gets countered into the Deadeye. And then Page goes for a moonsault to the floor, but Cole super kicks him in the head midair, upside down, and that appears to cut Hangman open, his chin or something there.
I love that. We've seen Adam Cole do that spot
many times.
15 times. I mean, I think the first time we saw it was him on Ricochet, and then it kind of like anybody who can do a moonsault, he'll do that on, and it looks, and it's almost to the point where like I see it coming, but it's cool. It's fun either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, he got him. He was bleeding after that. So then we just get a bunch of chairs, big pile in the middle of the ring. Page goes to throw Cole on top of them. He throws him on top of him, and then soon after he hits the buckshot lariat. But he doesn't go for the pin because there is no pin. He takes off his belt, ties Cole to the rope, so he's stuck. Then he goes under the ring, grabs a chair with barbed wire attached to it. But he sees Cole helpless, and Hangman's got a soul, so he throws the chair down. He doesn't want to sink to that level, and he goes and unhooks Cole's arm. But then Cole low blows Hangman, grabs the barbed wire. He low blows the Hangman, but the Hangman grabs the barbed wire, wraps it around his own arm, and then they fight their way over to the apron. Page nails Cole with the barbed wire arm, then wraps it around his head like a crown of thorns on Good Friday, no less. And then he picks up Adam Cole, hits the Deadeye off the apron, through a table. Cole can't get up by the count of 10, so Hangman wins and retains.
Wins and retains.
yeah, very good match. Very good.
In a great match. This was, you know what? Adam Page's title reign, I think, started a bit slow. Because I think, the build coming off of Kenny Omega, and that was huge. And then he went straight to Bryan Danielson back to back.
Back to back.
I think
an
like
hour and a half of great wrestling.
I think it was like a month and a half later or something. They started off a bit slow, but now this is his 6th title defense. A couple against Adam Cole, Lance Archer. There was Dante Martin that one week. It's really picked up, I think.
He's all his title matches have been good. I just feel like his presence on the show itself, he doesn't always feel like the top guy or the most important thing.
But
like a world championship.
Not
if it's fault of his own, just through the booking and shit.
Of course, it's funny. It's when he's out there about to wrestle or his music hits, he's the biggest babyface in the room. But when he's not, it's like he's nowhere close.
Yeah.
It is a bit of a weird one. It is a bit of a weird thing. But just what another great title defense. I think this one got 4.5, I think.
Yeah.
And some pretty bloody title defenses too. There was also Lance Archer was the Texas Death Match too. I think he definitely bled in one of those Bryan Danielson matches, if not
absolutely
both, maybe.
I think maybe. Yeah.
And like you said, possibly, this is up there for one of those Rampage matches. I think this and really that debut episode of Rampage, Kenny Omega and Christian Cage.
Kenny, yeah. I think those would be top 2 Rampage matches, I would say.
So far, or at least, and we say that without, they stick out so much that I don't even know what else is going on, right? They really have to stand out to be that. And it was fantastic.
I think the one other one, was that women's tag team, like no holds bar when the bunny bled like crazy.
Yeah, when she that was when she looked like she was coming out of a fucking horror movie or something.
Yeah, that was.
Jesus.
But anyways, fantastic main event there. Great Rampage. But they weren't done because the very next night they had Battle of the Belts Part 2. Which I really don't even remember anything about. I know the first one happened.
So I remember the first one happening, and then they didn't. I feel like they didn't advertise this at all, or whatever. And believe it or not, so this was actually taped after they taped Rampage. So if you were happen to find yourself in Garland, Texas, on April 15th, you would have watched an episode of Dark, an episode of Rampage, and then Battle of the Belts. So you just had bangers going all night.
Yeah, that's a pretty good ticket there. So let's start with the first title match. TNT title on the line. Scorpio Sky against Sammy Guevara. Crowd giving Sammy some heat once again. The boos. Nice fast-paced match here. 2 highly athletic guys. Dueling chants. Let's go Sammy. Sammy sucks. They fight on the apron. Scorpio hits a big TKO. Bit of a scary landing for Sammy there. He spikes down hard. But, he fights back. He climbs up to the top rope, and that's when Ethan Page comes running out. Yanks out Scorpio to save him. Then Ty Conti gets in Ethan Page's face. Sammy hits a big shooting star press to the floor. And I think that got Ethan Page. He got a huge cut right above his eyebrow. So
I also kind of missed where that happened or whatever.
I think it was just trying to catch Sammy on the shooting star, my guess.
Yeah.
And then Paige Van Zant comes running out, so she brawls with Ty Conti. This distracts the ref. But then it's Sammy who low blows Scorpio. Big heel move there. And then he hits the GTH, gets the 1-2-3 to win the TNT title for the 3rd time.
God. Hopefully that was a heel move. Jesus.
It has to be. Because, big boos here for the title change. 3 times in, the last couple months, this TNT title's been flipping around way too much lately.
Yeah, a little too much,
More than the 24/7 title.
Honestly. More than the 24/7 championship. You are completely right there. I think everyone's just so cold on Sami Zayn right now. We're hot on Sami Zayn.
We love Sami.
We love, of course. It's like not only me. When I get cold on someone, oftentimes I'm looking around. I'm the only one in the room. But you can tell in the past, 3-4 weeks maybe of AEW shows, Sammy Guevara, everyone just, it's not good heat either.
No, it's like, we don't like you, go away.
Like, for me, the new thing that I don't like about him is that he's trying to do these, like, cocky promos, but they're not good. Like, I don't think anybody is writing his cocky... Like, this is a great moment where it's, somebody should be writing that for you.
Yeah, it's like, you're not a heel, you're a dick.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, you're not a heel, you're just a dick. And also, you're not, like, I don't think he's been around long enough to give that amazing promo quite yet. Nor is that, like, his skill set necessarily, right? Like, MJF was born to talk on the mic. Sammy Guevara was born to do a bunch of fucking Spanish flies off the top rope. It's like, it's apples and oranges, these people. And he's trying to do the I'm better than you and you know it promo, but he's not good at it. He's not good at being, like, he was good at being that babyface Sammy, I think, when he was, underdog, I'm the little guy and look at me go and I got heart. But he can't do heel man without somebody writing him a promo. I think someone needs to write him a promo.
Yeah.
And
you see, even Dan Lambert goes up against him and destroys him.
Dan Lambert destroys. Yeah, Dan Lambert gets cheers. We love Dan Lambert over here on the Shoot Brothers.
Oh yeah, he is one of the great turnarounds. When he first came in, I couldn't stand the guy one bit. Now I love him.
Well, very much so, and of course, it could be an early Shooty nomination for best turn.
Yeah, best turn, manager of the year. He's
early, especially now that Sammy gets that greasy win. Suddenly, Dan Lambert, the man of the year, Scorpio Sky. They're on the outside looking in, and probably has the crowd cheering for them.
Yeah. Overall, the whole group. Why not turn him face? But yeah, the TNT title. Too many titles. I feel like the last Miro was the last good title reign. And that was like 6 champions ago now between them. From Sammy to Cody to Sammy to Cody to Scorpio to Sammy.
So I guess Sammy's held it, three times now?
Him and Cody are both 3 times for the record.
Wow. I mean, the Darby Allin run was fantastic. The Miro one, like you said, we haven't seen.
Speaking of, where the hell has Miro been? I feel like
filming a movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I got.
At least there's a good reason.
I'm talking to AC Dirt about that. No, he has been.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he's been filming something. Because you remember, maybe a couple months ago, we had some kind of Miro promo where it was like in a white background, and it was kind of almost barely. Like there would be a gimmick switch of some kind. And yeah, just haven't seen it yet or whatever. But yeah, he was a great way. He was a great reign. And poor Scorpio Sky just holding the belt for probably over a month maybe. It stinks.
If that.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It stinks. It stinks. But let's move on to the next title match because he had the Ring of Honor World title on the line. Jonathan Gresham against Dalton Castle. I don't know these guys too well, but yeah, Dalton's got his whole flamboyant gimmick going on. He had like these little manservants at the ring, kind of fanning him off and stuff.
So Dalton Castle is somebody I only know through videos online, through things like Ring of Honor, things like PWG, and I've never seen him kind of in action necessarily. It's really just been clips and highlights and stuff. So as soon as I saw this guy, and I didn't really know what this card was or anything, I'm not sure if he was announced before or whatever, but as soon as I saw his name pop up, it was a real oh yeah, I know of this guy. Yeah, I was really excited as soon as I kind of saw his name on the card.
Yeah, no, he was pretty good in the ring. And then that Gresham guy, didn't he come out with? He had like this octopus mask or something. And
that is also again, things that I've seen from Ring of Honor clips from PWG from these types of things, and it was kind of cool. I guess with the acquisition through Ring of Honor, we'll be seeing more of these sorts of things.
Yeah. So anyways, Gresham, he locks in that octopus hold to get the submission win, retain the belt. And then after that, that Satman Singh guy shows up again. Yeah, they're in Dallas, and he was a former Dallas Maverick pick, apparently. So probably two guys in the audience recognized him.
The one guy in the Dirk Nowitzki jersey.
Yeah, so the Singh just beats up everyone and looked better here than he did on Dynamite. Better presentation, so I guess it was taped. They could edit it and shit.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, Samoa Joe comes out and chases them off. So looks like Joe and this Giant, they're going to have a feud or something.
Yeah, well, now that we have more belts to throw around, we might as well start playing with them a little bit, right?
Why not? The main event of this card, the AEW Women's World Title, Thunder Rosa defending against Nyla Rose. Nyla had some face paint on, bit of a different look there. Yeah, decent match. They go back and forth a while. Nyla powerbombs Rosa on the apron. Back in the ring, Rosa hits a code red. Big near fall there. And then later, Nyla goes for the monster bomb, but Rosa counters with a Hurricane Rana, gets a 3, retains her title.
And gets the big win in not only her first title defense since defeating Dr. Britt Baker DMD, but also her first match since her winning that title. Yeah, this is an unfortunate thing we've done many times before. Women win the title and then we don't see them. And then they win the title, and then we don't see him. I mean, this was even 2-3 AEW shows in a row now where Jade Cargill didn't even come up. O'Shea Jackson Jr. must be pissed. Jade Cargill's not even around.
Yeah.
Yeah, there might be some booking problems kind of with her, too. You book somebody to be indestructible, then you give them the belt. Well, it's like now they're just continue to be indestructible. I think we're supposed to see Jade Cargill tonight taking on Marina Shafir. Does not bode well for her, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, with Jade, they've been stretching out this 30-0 for like 3 weeks now. I thought they were going to cruise past that, try to get her to like 100.
Yeah, get to that Asuka level.
Yeah, Goldberg.
Well, I prefer to. I prefer to.
Well, all right. Let's go back in time quickly. Do a quick SmackDown recap before the break here.
Okay, folks, it's Friday night. It's time for Smackdown Live. It used to be on Tuesday, but then I think it was on Friday before, though. No, wait, we used to film it on a Thursday and then release it. It's just Smackdown Live.
SmackDown Live.
How's that sound?
You know the show. Hey, I love how it shows. The big dog.
The big dog.
When was the last time? Well, yeah, we don't even call him that anymore. He's still the big dog to me, though. I mean, who am I kidding?
I mean, they still reference it.
They occasionally, of course, we are talking about the tribal chief. My chief, your chief, we all chief for the tribal chief. Roman Reigns still sitting there as double champion.
Double champ, but he doesn't start the show. RK Bro come out, and they call out the other members of the bloodline, the Usos, and they all exchange words, and Usos, they say, we want that unification match. And Randy calls them assholes and bitches, and even though this is SmackDown, this is RK Bro's ring. I've been setting records for 20 years, and at the very end, he accepts the match. But I think it's not going to take place till Backlash. So.
Probably not. This sounds like a perfect thing for Backlash. I don't know how to keep up with the Brand to Brand Invitational anymore.
It's over. It's dead.
I was so good at keeping good, kind of very solid bookkeeping. I don't know anymore. I can't. I can't even.
I think and
as
also,
long as
the titles stay on the
I
shows.
don't know who's on what brand anymore because we've had a fair amount of back and forth in the last kind of just really between the 2 weeks before Mania to now. Everyone's all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So, more of that. Rhea Ripley's visiting, taking on Naomi. I guess Naomi can go anywhere, though. She's the tag champion.
She's allowed to go anywhere. I think she is also a SmackDown home, though, so
yeah,
that counts.
But, the match was fine. Naomi hits the disaster kick, but Ripley fights back, hits the riptide, gets the win. So she can do that again on Monday. She'll be the tag champs.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice to see. Also,
Madcap Moss took on Umberto, but really nothing to brag about here. Madcap fends off Angel, trying to interfere, hits the punchline, gets the win.
Since Madcap turned on Happy, wait, did he turned on Baron Corbin, right? Yeah, it wasn't the other way around. I've been liking Madcap Moss. I don't know why. I kind of turned around to him. I found his Instagram channel where he does. He's kind of Bugenhagen like he's kind of funny.
Yeah,
kinda. I'm not gonna give him every. I'm not gonna roll out the red carpet for this guy. He's kind of funny, so I'll give him that.
Yeah. We'll see. Drew Gulak, who still works here, but putting him to work in a new gimmick as a ring announcer, I guess. He announces Charlotte Flair, and then he interviews her in the ring about the upcoming I Quit match against Ronda, and Drew says, I think Ronda would have been champ if the ref hadn't got knocked out at Mania. Crowd chants, "You tapped out at Charlotte." So Charlotte flips the script and starts chanting, "What?" at the crowd. She gives them the what treatment.
I like that. As soon as that happened, I was like, I didn't know you could do that. I'm looking around. I didn't know.
Uno reverse card.
I didn't know you were reverse what?
And then Charlotte asks Gulak if you quit being a competitor to ask these stupid questions, and then kicks him out of the ring and attacks him from behind, puts him in the figure eight. Gulak taps out.
Now, I have to ask, though, because to me, that might actually be one of my top response to a what chant, Mike. Was there one that maybe sticks in your mind in particular? Maybe a wrestler who was very good at handling it? Did anything stick out to you?
Yeah. The classic is The Undertaker during his biker phase. He was doing a promo and they kept giving him what? So then he turns to the crowd and says, "Say what if you like to sleep with your sister?" And then they go, "What?" Oh, and then they stop. And then they all kind of laugh and he just shakes his head at them.
Alexa Bliss did one like that too that I can recall when she was getting whatted, and she says something like "Say what if you're a scumbag?" And then everybody says, "What?" She's like, "Told ya."
Like
it was one of those like I'm tearing apart the locals type of promo.
Yeah.
Hey, good thinking on your feet there, Shardog. I gotta say. By the way, I'm calling her Shardog now.
You go right ahead. We'll go to the other Drew now. McIntyre taking on our boy Sami Zayn. And he just beats him all around. Goes for Claymore, but once again, Sami slips away. Runs into the crowd, gets counted out. So this looks like it's leading to some sort of cage match they set up a lumberjack match for next week, so Sami can't run.
Yeah, for next week, because neither of these men are on the Backlash card, I don't think, nor do they, I don't think either of them really have a reason to either.
Unless they want to prolong it after the lumberjack match.
No, that's a good point. Well, I was going to say neither of them have anything to Backlash.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. Why? I don't think we're not getting Drew Barron. I think we're done with that. I don't think we're getting Sammy Johnny Knoxville. I think we're done with that.
Yeah. Why not do that then?
See, because we can't call the card WrestleMania Backlash, have half the matches be backlashes, and then the other half not be. See, that's just a nightmare.
But you don't want every match to be a repeat.
But we also don't want every match to be a repeat. This is tough.
Yeah. Well, here's a fresh match, whether you want it or not. Ricochet defending the Intercontinental title against Jinder Mahal. But what has Jinder even done to earn this title shot? I don't know. Not even a champion contenders match, but he doesn't win here. He gets a couple moves in, but Ricochet eventually hits the shooting star press. Doesn't even need the 630. I guess the win retains his title.
What happened to the open? Remember when people used to have open challenges? And they'd come down to the ring and they'd be like, "Hey, who wants to fight?" And then someone's music would just hit. And then that would kind of be it. We need to go back to that model, especially for things like this. I think having, promoing a Ricochet Jinder match, that's nothing. But having Ricochet come out there and being like, "I'm the best, who wants to fight?" And then having Jinder come out, I think that kind of conveys that appropriate, heat towards Jinder, because us fans are expecting or hoping maybe for someone, and then it ends up being Jinder. Then we're like, oh, boo, and then I think it kind of lands a bit quicker. But I don't know. Like the Hulkster said, with the right push, Jinder could be the with the right push, Jinder could be the next Hulk. So I don't know.
Yeah, if you choose to listen to the Hulkster, that's your own.
And I have at times.
We get chapter 2 of the Lacey Evans life story. Growing up, running away from abusive father at home. He had a warrant out for his arrest. Child protection, law enforcement, none of it could help her. She had to rely on herself. And, she fought through it, though. She never got handed a single thing. She worked through all her mistakes, got motivated. And, I'm not better than any of the other female superstars, but, it's very emotional here once again, just telling her real life story. So they obviously want her to be 100% babyface coming back. Because, who's going to boo this?
And I think we posited this yesterday, possibly the first time Lacey Evans has been a true babyface, I think.
Yeah, at least at this level. So looking forward to her getting back in the ring, hopefully soon.
Yeah, hopefully soon. I mean, we know how these types of promos can drag out, though. We've seen this before, where the "Hey, I'm coming back" promo just takes 3 months, and it's like, oh, why didn't you just come back in 3 months? Like, we get it. We get it. You're a new mom. Like, we were okay without you. We want to see it now.
Remember the first 3 months of her career? We're just walking down the aisle, turning around, and walking back.
But at least that because she was not fully in that babyface thing, at least that felt appropriate.
Oh, hey, I liked it.
Yeah, you loved it. I think she got Wrestler of the Week a couple times.
Yeah, well, but at first, you were not a fan, but then she won you over.
Did she?
That prestigious Wrestler of the Year you gave her.
Oh, yeah. She did win me over. You are right.
So, hey. But let's go to the final match of SmackDown. You had Riddle taking on Jimmy Uso. It was okay. Only 7 minutes or so, but they worked fast. Riddle looks for the floating bro. Jey Uso interferes, knocks him down. Jimmy super kicks Riddle, goes for the Uso splash, but Riddle rolls out the way, runs at Jimmy. Eventually Jimmy goes for a Samoan drop, but Riddle turns around midair, hits an RKO, gets the win.
Yeah, this was one of those. Like you said, I think it never really got going. This was a weird clash of styles for me. Not a styles clash. Clash of styles. I see Riddle as being too, like the Usos are great, but not. Matt Riddle's a little too quick, a little too strong, a little too slippery in his maneuvers. I think because we've been coming off some bangers between RK Bro and the Street Profits, and like a Montez Ford Riddle style it meshes very, very well. The Usos felt like they were just a step slower than some of these Street Profits matches, which kind of maybe put them behind in my mind, and especially to main event the show.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I thought the in-ring was really nothing really interesting in any of the matches. So, yeah, I mean, SmackDown itself, nothing to write home about this week.
Did we even see Roman Reigns at all? I don't remember.
No, I think he was just off this week, him and Heyman. So
he's just doing his thing. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. That was it. That was all of SmackDown, and probably the first half. Should we take a break?
Let's do that.
We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with all the action from Monday Night Raw. Of course, we have NXT and this week's edition of Dynamite. So the 420 edition of Dynamite. So you're definitely going to want to stick around.
Oh, yeah.
Let's shoot. Yeah, let's shoot. Yeah, let's shoot. Brother, yeah, let's shoot. Yeah, let's shoot. Yeah, let's shoot. Brother, yeah.
Back here with the second half of the show, folks. Thanks for sticking it out through the break. When is this when is the back being lashed?
May.
Okay, so
8th, 9th,
so we
something like
have a few weeks. So probably not this weekend, but possibly maybe the weekend after.
2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks from this weekend.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we still have time to round out that card. I think there's still only a few matches booked for that one right now. So let's keep booking matches for WrestleMania Backlash and bring you this week's edition of Monday Night Raw.
Let's get raw. Let's get raw.
Live from, I'm gonna say, somewhere on. I'm gonna say somewhere in Maryland. That sounds right. That sounds good, right? Maryland. I don't know, but
We'll see if it comes up.
it may come up.
Seth
Buffalo,
freaking-
New York. That was close.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It does come up later. Seth freaking Rollins comes out to start the show, and he invites out Cody Rhodes. So out comes Mr. Nightmare, and the crowd's all chanting for Cody, and he milks it in like only Cody does. Seth doesn't like that. He says, you're arrogant, and they argue about who's better. And, Seth has 4 world titles, but the Buffalo crowd's on Cody's side here. And Seth says, you only beat me at Mania because you had an unfair advantage of being a surprise opponent. So how about tonight's main event? You face an opponent of my choosing. And Cody's like, okay, deal.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Little mystery for later. But in the meantime, we get that tag title match we were promised. Sasha Banks, Naomi defending against Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley. Early on, they fight to the floor. Rhea hits Sasha with a riptide right onto the barricade. And then back in the ring, Rhea hits a riptide on Naomi. So things are looking dicey here. She makes the cover, but Sasha breaks it up at the last second. And then the tag champs recover, just go on a roll, hit this nice big combo of moves, one after the other, eventually ending in Sasha pinning Rhea for the 3 to retain the titles. And afterwards, Ripley is pissed off. She yells at Liv and then attacks her from behind. Hits a big riptide. So, cowardly heel turn there for Ripley.
Cowardly. That sucks, eh? You know why that sucks? Because, and I feel like this has happened before, maybe not in the women's division, but there was another division where, or like another team, where the team was thrown together. And Mike, you know how I feel about thrown together tag teams. As long as you coordinate your gear, I'm on board. And Rhea and Liv coordinated their gear. They were thrown together. They look good. And then they break up. It's like, why did you coordinate the gear in the first place? It's like they're trying to build my hopes up, only to have them crashing down. It makes them look like they belong together. It's very important. It's very important. Instead of getting fucking Carmella with a mask and Zelina Vega with a crown, like, this doesn't make sense, people. This doesn't make sense here. But I guess, of course, Rhea Ripley, I feel like she hasn't really had that heel run, maybe since coming here to the main roster.
Yeah, this could be good for her.
Exactly. I think that's, that was kind of who she was down there in NXT. And Sasha Banks is the Ricochet of the women's division. In that, and I mean, hey, we're always looking for new shooty categories. Best seller. I can't think of another female performer up at the top of the division as good of a seller as Sasha Banks is. I don't know if anyone comes to mind for you personally, at least. And of course, we have a wedding. We have a wedding coming up here, folks. We should have kicked off Raw with that. We have a wedding coming up where Sasha Banks, we'll see her selling the shit out of the action that's on the screen. Just one hell.
She is a professionally trained actor. Disney Plus, Mandalorian.
Just one hell of a performer.
She's Hollywood, baby.
And Hollywood. Just one hell of a performer, up and down, and retains her championship here. So there you go.
Yes, I will never argue with any praise for Sasha Banks. So
You never have.
never will. Sonya Deville coming up next. Comes out, gets a bunch of boos here. She says, 2 years ago, I was forced into this position to be WWE manager, and I always wanted to be a superstar. So, and I want to take that title from Bianca. And then Belair comes out, gets in Sonya's face, but Sonya gives her the old, hey, I'm in a suit. When I'm in the suit, you can't touch me. And Bianca's like, all right, well, how about we have the title match tonight then? Sonya says, no, rather do it next week in your hometown, Knoxville, Tennessee. So Belair picks up Sonya, ready to hit the KOD, but Sonya threatens repercussions. So Bianca puts her down. And then later backstage, Pierce is arguing, or Sonya is arguing with Pierce about fining Bianca for the whole incident. And then Belair walks up and pays $1. That's the fine. So, yeah, Pierce
Classic
just kinda mocking
$1 fine.
Yeah. So, take that.
Take that.
Veer Mahan taking on local jobber Jeff Brooks here. And, yeah, Veer destroys him, locks in the cervical clutch to get the win.
Was this his first win? No, he beat the shit out of Dominic last week.
So when they say cervical, what part of the body are they referring to here?
The cervix?
Grabbing.
I don't know.
Isn't that in a woman down low?
That's a good point.
Because he's like grabbing the shoulder here. I'm just wondering why they call it the cervical clutch. But looks like he's grabbing the clavicle, maybe. But
maybe they were thinking clavicle. Because yeah, you're all right. I think maybe cervical. That sounds like a neck thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But anyways, I'm not a doctor.
No, you're not.
Kevin Owens comes up next. Not yet. The Kevin Owens show. Kevin Owens, he's joined by Chad Gable because we're here to administer a lie detector test, which is basically a blood pressure checker and vitality sensor on your finger plugged into a laptop here.
Chad Gable comes out with a pair of glasses. I think he had a sports coat on. Very official of him.
Yeah. Oh, he's a 4.0 graduate with honors.
Very much so.
He might be a doctor someday.
Dr. Gable.
So if anyone, he's here. Yeah, he's the one running the test. Throwing out his... We bring out Ezekiel. He comes in the ring. He's giving us his catchphrases, or his new catchphrase. Who wants to hear Zeke speak? Not quite as good as
because HZ...
Yes, it means
like nothing. It doesn't mean much.
So anyways, we set him up to the lie detector. We get the live feed on the Tron there. Basically just like a heart monitor. It looked like an audio recording, really. Just like
yeah, whatever. They're trying.
Spiking. Anyways, doesn't matter. You know how we're playing along here. They do the baseline questions, and then we get to the real questions. Is your name Ezekiel? He says yes. And he gets the thumbs up, telling the truth. Is Elias your brother? Yes. Again, true. Is your real name Elias? No. He passes all the tests. So then Ezekiel gets in Owen's face and says, I'm sick of being called a liar. You're the biggest liar in WWE. So then we get to a match. Ezekiel takes on Gable, and everything was going fine. Zeke was in control. He gets Gable in a half crab, but then Otis shows up, attacks him, causes a DQ. So don't get in.
I loved this, though. Why did it take him this long to do a lie detector segment and part of the talk show? I don't know. This was great. And when he said he wants to hear Zeke speak, and then the crowd was kind of like, ha, 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 okay. And then Kevin Owens just immediately like, no, that doesn't make sense. That's pretty much just walk with Elias, but something else. Yeah, this was great. I think the fans and us included, we're taken a bit aback when we saw, this guy come out with a shaven beard and some shorter hair, or whatever. Like, this is weird, but hey, it's still the same. If it is still the same man, we know or at least if Ezekiel is as good in a promo segment as his brother Elias was. I'm ready to hear Zeke speak.
Yeah, we shall see.
Has anyone ever done this gimmick before? Pretending you're someone else, but no, I am this other person.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, yeah, Hulk Hogan pretended to be Mr. America.
Yeah, I guess that one. Yeah, but
I mean,
yeah, I know.
Not quite the same.
Very close. Very, very close.
Yeah. Yeah, there's probably been something, but no, this segment, in the hands of other performers, it might have died.
It would have
these guys
fallen
are all-
so flat on its ass. And of course, Chad Gable got his little shoosh catchphrase in there. This was kind of...
I mean, he's really come along in the past year. He's
the
gotten a
whole
lot of
thing
more TV
was
time.
fun all around. This whole segment. It was great.
Yeah. Then we got RK Bro versus Street Profits, Part 9. So, I mean, the wrestling's good, but we've just seen it so much. Oh, there was one cool new move that I don't think we see all the time. Riddle, he does this awesome. He does a moonsault, belly-to-belly suplex off the top rope. Complete flip, both men. So RK Bro's in control when all of a sudden the Usos music hits. So this distracts Riddle. He looks away. Street Profits take over, hit the Doomsday Blockbuster, get the win. And then I think after they revealed that it was them that played the Usos music, they paid off Fit Finley back.
Fit got paid off back there. Yeah, like you said, this was Part 9. We've seen every combination of the Raw tag teams facing each other now, I think by this point. All the individual members facing the individual members, all the different versions, and everybody winning. The 2022 Raw tag scene has... I don't even think it's been 51-49. I think it's been exactly 50-50.
50-50-50 divided by 3.
50-50-50. And once again, Montez Ford seemingly effortlessly has the best spots of the match.
Yeah. I mean, you can always count on him.
Yeah, you always can.
Hit those huge. Backstage, Edge and Damian Priest attack AJ Styles, and they bash his arm in. So that phenomenal forearm is going to be in trouble.
Uh-oh.
Then you got Finn Balor taking on Theory for the United States Championship. Another one that we've seen a lot of, but for the title this time, and the wrestling, like we said, it's still good. And yeah, they go back and forth. Finn sets up for the coup de grace, but then Theory runs in, hits a springboard Spanish fly for a big 2 count. Then Balor fights back, goes for the coup de grace again, but Theory avoids that, hits the ATL, gets the win. U.S. title, youngest U.S. champ in WWE history.
Really? Yeah, he's probably only like 24 or something. Kid's young.
So, good for him. It was kind of weird after. They did a celebration. You had like 7 or 8 heels from the locker room and carry him out.
You never see that. You never see that.
Especially for, like none of these guys have associated with him on screen or anything. And yeah, they gave him like the Rocky 2 ending. They all lifted him up. And then Mr. McMahon came out to raise his arm at the very end. So that one made sense.
That's a big deal. Yeah, I mean, hey, I guess, Austin Theory's the future. I think, that was kind of, we kind of maybe saw this coming after all the kind of WrestleMania build and stuff. It still feels weird that we took away his first name. I guess maybe because, Stone Cold or whatever. There can only be one Austin. Whatever the hell the reason is. There was this weird, so before the match, they played a video package for Austin Theory. And it felt like it was this video package that they were telling us, like, we don't know who he is. And it was just weird. Like, he literally just had a match at WrestleMania. We don't need a package for this guy. We know who he is. Like, we watched the show also. We know who this guy is. It just felt weird. It would have made more sense during that build up to WrestleMania. But now
maybe because he's Theory now.
Maybe because he's a new dude. Yeah. Theory. Wow. Theory.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, after this, we have the big double wedding. Or no, they didn't call it that. They called it a commitment ceremony for whatever reason. Did you notice that? No use of the word wedding.
I didn't. But that being said, I mean, maybe legally they can't use the word wedding for some reason.
I mean, they've done it before. I don't know. Maybe they're just weird.
I'm just trying.
Yeah. Anyways, the ring's all set up nice, flowers, white, all that stuff. 24/7 divisions. There's the groomsmen and some of the bridesmaids. Truth is the officiant, the host here. So yeah, you got Reggie, Tozawa kind of sitting there waiting for the brides. Tamina, Dana, they walk down the aisle. Naomi and Sasha, they're the bridesmaids. They got roped into this. But, I mean, there's actually history there. Team Bad. You may not remember, but Naomi, Sasha, and Tamina were a group briefly when Sasha first got called.
Well, there you go. That's probably why they're there.
Yeah, so I think they're friends in real life. So, bridesmaids. Anyways, Truth leads the festivities here. And he starts getting the what treatment. And he's even arguing with the crowd about it. So, we go to the vows, but the crowd is not interested at all. They start singing Little Richard at one point. You make me want to shout. So Truth does the hey, and they do it back. He reels them in. We finish off the vows. We ask for the objections, and half the crowd stands up to object. And Truth, the selling, and the way he was selling it was actually kind of funny. He was the best part of this whole segment.
Well, I mean, when it comes 24/7 nonsense, he's
Yeah.
oftentimes the best part.
Yeah. So anyways, Tozawa stands up and says, I object. Or no, Tamina stands up and says, I object. And then she grabs Reggie and Tozawa and swaps their places. Groom swap. And then Tamina goes, no, wait. And then she puts Reggie and Tozawa together. She goes up to Dana. And this is when they won the crowd over. They cheered big for the implied lesbian angle, like it was 1999 Attitude Era. But Truth says, no, this is not those days. You're going to get me fired. That's not PG. Mm-hmm. So we go back to the original positions, Tamina, Tozawa, Reggie, Dana. They put the rings on. We have the first kiss. It's official. Reggie kisses Dana and then pins her to the mat. 1, 2, 3. New champ. Betrays his bride. But then Tamina boots him, pins him, wins the title. Tozawa climbs underneath her wedding dress, rolls her up, wins the title. Dana flies off the top rope with a crossbody, pins Tozawa, wins back the title, escapes on Truth's back. Runaway bride with the title.
Yeah, that surmises it all. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it was.
So who left? Who arrived as champion?
Dana, and she left as champion.
Oh, well, there you go. Hey,
she just added an extra notch on her reign.
Yeah,
on her Wikipedia list.
Mm-hmm.
Then the main event, Cody Rhodes taking on his mystery opponent. Ends up being Kevin Owens, so no huge surprise, but still a first-time matchup, I think. I don't know.
Maybe.
But, good main event. Good hard-fought match here. Owens hits a pop-up powerbomb for a near fall, but Cody fights back. You had Seth Rollins at ringside. Cody dumps Owens to the floor. Seth yells at Owens, get back in the ring, you fat ass. Or something like that. He called him fat ass, I think. Get your fat ass up. And
so mean.
that you crossed the line. You don't say the F word to Kevin Owens. So he walks off, takes the count-out loss. I'm not fighting your battle. So Seth loses, Cody celebrates, and then Rollins cheap shots him from behind to end the show.
Yeah, just taking that count out.
Yeah.
Yeah, anticlimactic way to end the match, but I think now, and it's like what we saw on Dynamite, right? Like Cody Rhodes will be on every single show, so or on every single episode, Cody Rhodes will be there. So whether or not it's a satisfying ending isn't the question. The question is Cody Rhodes has to be there. So,
all right. Well, let's just hop on over to the next night of the week, NXT 2.0.
NXT, what does it mean? I don't know, but it's some good wrestling. So NXT, watch and see. Set a tap out, a count out, a 1, 2, 3. So
The new tag champs, Pretty Deadly, come out, cut a promo, putting themselves over when Drake and Gibson, grizzled young vets, come out. Haven't seen them in a while. They want a shot at the gold. But then Legado del Fantasma come out. They want in as well. So a big brawl happens. And they just kind of split them up. Braun Breaker comes out after that. Tells Joe Gacy, get out here with my dad's ring. And then Gacy appears on the screen, or multiple screens, just all around the whole venue, just saying, come find me. And maniacal laughing.
Yeah, that was weird. The intro kind of didn't play. I felt like this was something that would have tried to do on Monday Night Raw. Like that opening promo type of segment. And what's suck because the Grizzled Young Veterans come out justifiably asking the question of why they were not involved in the gauntlet match last week.
Yeah.
Only to be jumped by like one of the least over tag teams in the division. You're just like, fuck, like, no, the Grizzled Young Veterans and Pretty Deadly, like, that is the conversation that's happening, not the people that we don't care about at all. So, it fell flat.
Yeah. We go to our first match. Tiffany Stratton taking on Rampage. The feud's been going on for a little while. But, it's nice when women's wrestling can have multiple storylines and feuds, even in the undercard, Hey, Tony. But Tiffany coming out real aggressive, looking a little bit better every time we see her here. And Rampage fights back with her stiff offense. That big drop kick she does in the ropes there always looks good. Stratton fights back, though, hits her corkscrew Vader bomb, gets the win. Nice win for her.
Yeah, get the win. Yeah, still a little too green for me personally. But I guess
she's got the athleticism, but she still needs to get the.
I guess practice makes perfect. I guess.
Yeah. They'll mold her. Grayson Waller versus Santos Escobar, or no, Sanga.
Yeah, Sanga.
I didn't know what I wrote down there.
Santos Escobar is coming up later on in the night, though.
Yeah. Sanga Waller. I already forget how they split up. When did that happen? I don't know.
Last week?
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Sanga just tosses Waller all around the ring. Waller rolls out to recover, but then he dives back in, hits his rolling cutter, gets the win. He slays the giant.
I'm super cold on Grayson Waller these days. After he beat the shit out of Johnny Gargano in Johnny Gargano's last NXT appearance, to me that was where they should have strapped a rocket to him. I was just like, yep, okay, he's our top heel, let's go. And he kind of hovered, and then he's just kind of back to a ground zero of being like the loudmouth heel. Personally, I thought he came out of the gate real hot, and now we've kind of cooled off on him, focusing elsewhere. It would be great to see more focus on him.
Yeah, he's not my top heel.
Exactly, and where it should be. It would be nice if he was.
Yeah, he could have been. Still could be, but we'll see. Legado takes on Grizzled Young Vets. Nice fast-paced tag match here. Eventually, Legado go on a roll. They hit the Del Toro, and they get the win. Poor Grizzled Vets.
Poor. Is it just me, or did they give one of these guys a new name?
I think they gave both of them new names, but I didn't write them down.
Yeah. So I caught now Del Toro. Cruz Del Toro.
Oh, yeah, I did say Del Toro. Yeah. So.
And I didn't get the name of the other one. I don't think they changed the other guy's name. But still, yeah, okay, yeah. Very bizarre that there's been a few these name changes in the last couple weeks.
Yeah, there was a list I think I saw that has like 8 or 9 new name changes that we'll see soon, I think.
Okay.
More coming. After that, we had Carmelo taking on Santos Escobar. Just another evenly fought match here. Crowd's into it. Santos gets dumped to the floor when these two mobsters show up. And they give him the old Galooly crowbar to the back of the leg. Toss him back into the ring. Carmelo hits his top rope scissor kick, gets the win.
Yeah, I mean, presumably these have to be the workings of Tony D'Angelo. Presumably.
I mean, you would think so. They were dressed like mobsters. They had the hat, the tie. Looked like right out of the Smooth Criminal music
I think
video.
somewhere later in the show, Tony D'Angelo refuses. He does not take credit for this attack on Santos Escobar.
No, his hands are clean, of course.
However, somebody, and I'm kind of jumping the gun here, but while we're on the topic, somebody left a dead fish on Legado del
Yeah.
Fantasma's car. Somebody. I can.
It had a boot attached to the tire.
Like that's kind of like swimming with the fishes. Forget about it. So, we're on track. But yeah, Carmelo Hayes has been crushing it here on 2.0 past month or so.
Yeah, he's always good for a good match. And then throughout the night, we had Braun Breaker just kind of going on a scavenger hunt backstage, trying to find Joe Gacy. It was pretty awful. There's like a
pretty awful
house of mirrors and just, I don't know, all this weird. It was dumb.
Whatever.
It was dumb. Yeah. Whatever. Let's move on. Natalia, our special guest, taking on Tatum Paxley. And this crowd, they love Natalia. Once again, just cheering, chanting her name. Even though she keeps telling the crowd to shut up.
She's never been more over in her life.
Yeah, but she's so funny. She would just be like, "Shut up!" and they kept doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And the match was good. Paxley hangs in there with the seasoned vet. She hits a standing corkscrew moonsault. That was impressive. But Natalia puts an end to the run with a sharpshooter. Paxley taps out.
Yeah, to be expected. I think we're building to that Natalia Cora Jade thing whenever that happens.
Yeah, well, they announced the next TV special, Spring Breakin', in 2 weeks. So maybe there.
Yeah, should have been Spring Broken, but hey, I'm I don't write this. We know. I've said this many times before. I do not write this.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Zion Quinn takes on Wes Lee, formerly of MSK, on his own now. They don't really mention anything of why or how or what happened to the tag team. They just say he was forced to relinquish the tag title. So that's it. And yeah, he's still the old Wes Lee. He's doing his high flying all over the ring. But Quinn just swats him down, hits a massive elbow to the head, and gets the win. So tough.
Yeah, tough loss out of that. Looks great. I think great as a performer, but there's a chance he might kind of just get buried also.
Yeah, hopefully he can kind of retool and find his way. Because they made him a champion a few weeks ago. They must like the guy, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. Then you had JC Jane taking on Roxanne Perez, making her NXT debut. And, looking pretty good. The crowd was into both these women here. Nice traditional style of match. JC's in control when Wendy Chu appears on the Tron, and she shows that she's trashed Toxic Attraction's locker room, which distracts JC, and Roxanne's able to hit a code red and steals the 3. Big win for Roxy.
Wow, huge.
Yeah.
Roxana Perez. Hey. That's what we're calling her.
Decent match there.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Pretty Deadly taking on Dexter Lumis and Duke Hudson. NXT tag title match. And, the pairing of Hudson and Lumis, they hated each other, and now all of a sudden they're teaming. What's going on? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Creed brothers. The Creed brothers could have been in this position.
They coulda, shoulda. I don't know. I just don't like Duke Hudson. Ever since him and Persia linked up, it's brought down everyone around them.
Yeah, seriously.
Toxic relationship. But anyways, you know what? The match ended up being decent, or won me over. Pretty Deadly got a bunch of cool tag team moves, and Hudson and Lumis ended up working together pretty well, and gave a champs a run for the money, and actually managed. The crowd at one point was chanting for Duke, so he won them over, at least in this match. They got a couple big near falls, but Pretty Deadly fight back, finish off Hudson with a big boot, get the 3, retain the belts. But a good match, I thought.
Great match, but unfortunately, it was good. They retained, but unfortunately, this didn't finish this week's edition of NXT. I think so. The lights go out.
Yeah.
I think we come back on revealing Joe Gacy up there on the stage. Braun Breaker eventually finds him and charges up for him, and agreed for a title match so that Joe Gacy will give him Scott Steiner's Hall of Fame ring back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess we're fighting for jewelry now here on NXT 2.0. I think Joe Gacy kind of like knocks him off the stage, and a group of men in hoods come and
These druids.
We've seen too many druids in the past few years. They kind of surround Braun Breaker, and that is actually how the show ends. With these
they swarm him like a pack of zombies, and we just fade to
these
black.
inexplicable cultists.
Gacy's laughing like a maniac. It was definitely a very, very weird ending.
Bizarre. Because nothing about Joe Gacy's character up until now implies that he has minions. There was the whole, like, he's PC thing.
The whole it turned very quickly from just, like, preachy PC guy to complete cult maniac.
Honestly, he turned from, like, oh, yeah, this is like a little Kevin Owens to, what the fuck are you doing?
Turned from the Fight Club to a terrorist group.
It's bizarre.
Not a good ending to the show. Braun Breaker doesn't need to be doing these stupid storylines.
No.
You know? Yeah, doesn't.
I guess there's no one. I guess there's no one else, right? Like we said, there's no top heel. Could have been Grayson Waller. They kind of cooled off on that. Braun Breaker's clearly over with the fans. Who's going to challenge him and be legitimate?
Yeah, I really hope it's just a one and done.
Exactly. It's obviously, I mean, I don't think Walter's sticking. We didn't see Walter this week, but I don't think he's sticking around.
No, it appears he's been called up. So yeah, hopefully he beats Gacy and moves on very quick.
Yeah, that's exactly
Better
it.
things.
Well, let's get to our final. Let's get to our final show. Let's get to our final show of the week. Smoke 'em if you got 'em, baby. It's 420 all over no matter where you are. It's Wednesday night. You know what that means. It's time for some All Elite Wrestling Dynamite.
AEW. All Elite. They coming for you, Vince. Better watch out. It's too sweet.
Live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So, of course, we know that the Doctor will be coming on the show later, as it normally does. And AEW kicks off this week not with hot tag action. No, we don't need that. It's an All Elite Wrestling show. Of course, we kick off with a dream match of sorts between two of the two immensely popular stars here in professional wrestling. Of course, we're talking CM Punk and Dustin Rhodes kicking off the show here in Pittsburgh, where from right off the jump, a solid split of support between these two men.
Yeah. I mean, maybe even leaning for Dustin by
the end of it. I feel like there was some leaning.
Yeah, I think Punk leaned into like the way he was when he started working over Dustin's body parts, going for things like that. And, just classic wrestling here. Great stuff. Dustin hits the code red for a big 2 count, and then he hits the crossroads and a big pile driver, another big near fall. Punk lifts Dustin up for the GTS, but he rolls through, but then Punk sits down on top of him, and he's able to hold him down for the 3. But yeah, great match. Crowd loved it. Respect. They have a big hug and shake hands after. And on his way back up the ramp, Punk's doing the motion around his waist, the belt. He wants it. So the Hangman comes out, holds up the belt. So they've pretty much all but said that's probably going to be your double or nothing title match, I'm guessing.
A double or nothing title match. Deservedly so. But god damn it, this was one hell of a match. The crowd was so into this. Yeah. It's crazy starting. It's like you watch a match like this and you think to yourself, every wrestling show should start with a 17.5-minute match. A match should never start with a promo, never start with something shitty. Like, everything should just start with this. It's just, and this wasn't even, these guys weren't jumping off the top rope. These guys weren't bleeding. These guys weren't blading. This was, as I would call it, a good old-fashioned wrestling match.
Yeah, pretty much. And that was it. I mean, 2 of the most highly respected guys on the roster. The crowd's not going to give them any flack. They're loving every second of it. And they delivered.
And so did I. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was great. Then we cut backstage where we see Wardlow arriving at the building. He's got a scheduled match tonight, but he must be handcuffed and escorted around the building like he's a prisoner. So those are conditions there.
Yeah, more on that. He'll have a match later. More on that in a little bit.
Yeah. But we got the Blackpool Combat Club taking on Brock Anderson, Dante Martin, and Lee Moriarty in a trios match. And, there's some buzz going around that sooner or later they're going to bring in some trios titles. So, Blackpool Combat Club, they could be the perfect candidates.
Could be, yeah.
You got a lot of guys. The House of Black, you got Santana Ortiz, Eddie Kingston, Jericho thing. You got lots of good teams. Yeah. So anyways, match was good. The crowd was hot for Lee Moriarty. Must be his hometown or something.
Could be.
They love this guy.
Yeah, I wonder.
But anyways, the Combat Club takes over. Moxley hits the paradigm shift, gets the win for our boys.
Gets a win for the big boys. There was a great line. So we had William Regal on commentary again. There was a great line where William Regal says they're talking about all the things that William Regal sees and all the work that he does behind the screens, and he said, "I'm an observer of wrestling." And then Shivani says, "Would you call yourself a wrestling observer?" And then Excalibur just goes in a very scoff, just goes, "Oh my god." And then there's like 3 seconds of silence before Jim Ross just says something like, "Oh, attacking the knee," like before he goes on. But it was just this real quick, like, "Would you call yourself a wrestling observer?" Oh God.
Yeah, I didn't catch that.
It was real quick. You had to really be paying attention.
Yeah.
And
thank you. Thank you.
Another one with Regal on commentary. Regal going back into his history with Arn Anderson, saying, "I know how Arn Anderson thinks, and he trained Brock, so I trained the Blackpool Combat Club what Arn would have told Brock." It was just like, yeah, fucking great. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. But then we come out, Tony Schiavone introduces Tony Khan because he's got another one of his major announcements. And he brings out the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I forget his name, but... So already the crowd's excited, but before he can say anything, Adam Cole appears on the screen. Because only a major star like me can make this announcement. June 26th in Chicago, AEW and New Japan present Forbidden Door, a super pay-per-view card. Yeah, and it gets started this Friday when Adam Cole takes on Ishii in an Owen Hart qualifier.
In the Owen Hart qualifier, of all things also, right? Bringing Tomohiro Ishii over in part of this qualifying match. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I feel like this opens the door. You could have like half the bracket have New Japan guys in the Owen Hart if you want to.
And I think this was, maybe what fans were hoping for a long, long time. I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, that wasn't even the end of the interruptions there, because coming out in front of our eyes, Switchblade Jay White making the surprise appearance, and reminding fans, cut us a little promo, reminding fans whether it's the Undisputed Elite or the Bullet Club, it is still our era. And one thing I gotta put over Tony Khan's acting here.
I don't think he's acting.
When Vince will be in the middle of the ring, and that, what's a good example? Remember when Vince and Steph are in the middle of the ring? This is like 2016, and I think he's giving her a plaque of some kind, and it was like, "Thank you, blah blah blah, 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 the McMahons," and it was when Shane McMahon came back, and it was just that, here comes the money, and that look of. And we've seen this look on Vince's face before. That look of surprise, the look. It's the look wrestlers have when somebody else's music hits, and you can see that Tony Khan was trying his best to do that look. He wasn't quite there yet, but he was trying his hardest, and I think that's what's most important.
Yeah. Either way, big news. That'll be a great show. I mean, that's kind of an official 5th pay-per-view on the schedule for AEW there.
Very much so, yeah.
Chicago being spoiled once again.
Chicago, go fuck yourselves.
It's bullshit.
I know.
come to Toronto, Tony.
It's not that hard.
Fucker. Then we get the Butcher taking on Wardlow, who gets escorted out. Or first we show on the balcony, MJF and Spears, they're in the stands. They're insulting the crowd, throwing popcorn on them. And then they bring out Wardlow to no music, like he's Hannibal Lecter, and then escorted by police. They uncuff him. The match begins. Big man brawl. Butcher hits a powerbomb on Wardlow. Or he tries to. He kind of slips while doing so, but everybody's good there. Wardlow gets up, and he says, I'll show you how to do it. Power bombs Butcher with no slip, and then 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Very impressive on a man the size of the Butcher.
Butcher's a big motherfucker.
Yeah, so Wardlow gets the win, but as soon as it's over, he must be cuffed and escorted out.
Of course,
So.
he'll play by the rules, but that
we all know
he's a star in the making. That'll come to fruition probably at Double or Nothing also.
custody of Wardlow battle.
I like that.
Fight for his own custody, like Britney Spears had to, kind of thing.
Very much so.
Kyle O'Reilly takes on Jungle Boy in an Owen Hart qualifier. And a little fun fact, this is Jungle Boy's 116th match, the most of anyone in AEW. So he's a workhorse, this Jungle Boy. The match, it was good. Technical, lots of submission work here, chain wrestling, evenly fought. Eventually, Kyle O'Reilly hits a superplex, climbs to the top rope, hits the big knee drop onto Jungle Boy, gets the win. So, hey, Jungle Boy, that's kind of a bummer, not even getting to be in the tournament.
Well, I mean, should he be in the tournament if he's already a champion?
I guess not, but, I just feel so highly of Jungle Boy.
Oh, of course. I mean, he can do...
Not to be down on Kyle O'Reilly.
I mean, he's a good Canadian kid.
Of course. So we'll see him in the tournament.
Good.
But then we get Hook making his Dynamite debut here against Anthony Henry. So everyone's rooting for Hook. He does his thing. But then Danhausen appears, tries to curse Hook once again, but it does nothing. Hook locks in the red rum, gets the submission win. And then after, Danhausen gets on the mic, gets in the ring, starts yelling at Hook. Says, if you don't want to be cursed by me, then you'll fight me. Big pop for that. So finally, we're going to get to see this Danhausen.
Hook Danhausen. That's going to be the fucking match of the year candidate.
And I feel like they're going to become buddies afterwards. They're going to become the new odd couple tag.
Well, yeah, if you watch the YouTube vlogging world, Ethan Page's vlog, any of the Being the Elite type of stuff, you know that Hook and Danhausen are buds. They are
I did not know
buds.
that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Now I do.
Now you do. Hey, I watch it, so you don't have to.
Thank you. Then we had the new TNT champ, Sammy Guevara, coming out with his girlfriend, Ty. Crowd's booing them out of the building. And he says, you turned your back on us because my girlfriend's hotter than yours, so be mad. They said that a couple times. That's their new catchphrase, I guess. Be mad.
Yeah, be mad. Terrible catchphrase.
Terrible. Yeah. Sky, Paige, Lambert, they all come out, tell Sammy how it is, and the crowd's cheering them. They're pretty much baby faces now, including Dynamite Dan Lambert. Nice nickname he's got.
I like it. I like an alliteration.
He says, Sammy, either you give Scorpio a rematch for the title or I send both these guys down to the ring to give you the type of pounding your girlfriend dreams about. And Sammy says, I'll give you the title match if you give us a mixed tag match. And he says, deal. And he's like, okay, next week, ladder match. They just kind of threw that in at the end there.
Yeah, ladder match.
Yeah. Can't go wrong. But yeah, I mean, this... what are they called? Not American Top Team. What are they?
The Men of the Year.
Men of the Year. Yeah, this seems like a babyface turn almost at this point.
I mean,
especially going up against.
Yeah, it's. I think it's the thing. It's not whether or not you're a babyface. It's whether or not the guy whoever you're going against are heels. You're a de facto babyface just because we hate Sammy Guevara so much.
And I'm ready for Dan Lambert as a babyface.
I think we all are.
I just feel no matter who you are, he can just tear into you. He can go with anyone on the mic.
Hey, we're ready for it.
Then we get another Owen Hart qualifier. Danielle Camella taking on Britt Baker, hometown. Like we said, Britsburg here. Huge ovation for the Doctor. First time we've seen her since losing the title over a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
So she even got a special entrance. He had a couple Pittsburgh Steeler players escort her to the ring.
That's very nice.
Cool stuff. Everyone was waving the terrible towels, doing all that shit. Back in the ring, Camella puts up a good fight, but everyone's here to see Baker get the win, and that's exactly what she does after she hits the stomp, puts in the lockjaw, gets the tap out. So Britt advances to the Owen tourney, as expected. But you know what? You know what I liked? She did it without Rebel or Jamie Hayter. They weren't even at ringside.
For the first time in... Well, I mean, what? She held on to that championship for 200 plus days, right? For the first time in possibly even a full calendar year, we saw Britt Baker achieve success without her lackeys. Because just because you're heel doesn't mean you have to be greasy.
Yeah, if you're as good as you say you are, you got to prove it.
Exactly.
So I liked that. Afterwards, she grabs the mic and says, "The last few weeks have been clear. This AEW women's division is a disaster." She could have stopped there, but then she says, "Without me." And then she just runs down some of the other women in the locker room and vows to win the Owen Hart tournament. Where I'm sure she'll make a Final Four appearance. I'll give her that.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah. Doctor. Let me go to the main event. You got Andrade El Idolo taking on Darby Allin in a coffin match. The second, I believe, here in AEW.
What was the first?
Darby versus someone.
Yeah, but who?
We've had a coffin match.
Okay.
It's his thing, though. He's Darby.
He's the coffin guy.
You know the deal. Yeah. You got to place your opponent inside the coffin and close the lid fully in order to get the win. Other than that, anything goes. So, of course, he had the Andrade family office all interfering, ganging up on Darby. And we're thinking, where's Sting? Why isn't he helping? So Darby gets thrown over the barricade into the crowd, smacked with his own skateboard. And then Mark Quinn grabs a fan sign, a Sting fan. He grabs a sign, rips it up. So the fan stands up, takes off his Sting mask to reveal it's Sting underneath.
Classic.
The classic meme.
Classic Sting move.
He's done this in every federation, I think. Maybe not WWE, but this is like the fifth time. We all love it. They brawl up the stairs, back into the crowd. Sting climbs the balcony, hits a big dive. He loves doing this thing. He's just 62 years old, diving off the balcony onto the big group on the floor. Crazy old man. He was even dressed like an old man because of his disguise. He just had like sweatpants.
Yeah, he looked like a 62-year-old. Yeah.
But anyway, so that takes care of all the group. Back in the ring, Andrade and Darby start beating each other up with chairs. They open the coffin, which reveals it has thumbtacks all lined on the inside there. So Darby gets put in the coffin, and he has to jab his own arm just to keep the lid open. And then they fight up the ramp. Darby gets suplexed onto the ramp, onto some steel grates. And then, back down towards the ring. Andrade's kind of standing in the coffin when Darby comes flying in with a tope suicida, knocks Andrade down inside the coffin. He slams the lid, stabbing his back, but it's still not fully closed. And that's when Jose, the assistant, runs out, starts attacking Darby, but he gets slammed onto the tacks. And then Darby slams the lid one more time and then jumps on top. So the coffin is closed. Darby Allin wins. And then for no reason, the Hardys show up and just start doing the delete taunt on the top of the ramp.
I don't know who they were deleting.
And why?
Sting and Allin?
Or why didn't they come earlier to help Darby when he was in trouble?
I thought they were deleting Sting and Darby Allin, if anything.
I mean, what's the beef?
Where's the beef? That is a good point. Darby Allin gets the win in the coffin match. I think as soon as you make it a coffin match stiff, it's almost like Darby Allin has to win. It's almost like Andrade can't win a stipulation match that seems to be Darby's thing. And then that just further confuses the, like, I have no clue what the fuck's going on with Andrade. If Andrade is super happy with his life, hell yeah. Keep doing whatever the hell you're doing. It just feels so weird. So now Andrade won the first exchange between these two. Darby won the second. Other than that fucking street fight through the flaming table that we got back in December with Andrade and Cody, it just kind of it's adding to that kind of diminished Andrade's AEW run. The whole run has been bizarre.
Yeah. No, I think he pretty much named everything right there. And that's his whole year. His whole first year of AEW was those few moments. Yeah, I don't know. But like you said, if he's happy, then whatever.
That's all it is, right? You know, it's like, hey, if you're happy, hell yeah. I wish that you did more, but if you're happy, I'm not going to say anything, right?
Yeah. Like at this point, he couldn't even be a TNT champ. He's not even in
in that realm. I mean, I would love it if he was, but... You know, he's not sitting there.
I mean, if he could
he's not,
work his way
he's not
there.
sitting there on the top 5 of the rankings either. You know, that those spots are occupied by other performers, so who knows? Who knows? But that was all of our Dynamite action for the week and all the action for the podcast. There's only time for one more thing, and that is to give you the Wrestler of the Week.
It's the Wrestler of the Week. Wrestler of the Week, of the Week, of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week, of the Week, of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week, of the Week, of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week.
Let's you go first, Mike. You kick it off for us.
All right. I'll just give it to the Hangman, Adam Page, for that great title defense on Rampage. Yeah, that was the best wrestling match, I think, of all the stuff we covered this week, so that's why he takes home the title.
Hangman Adam Page, congratulations, winning the Wrestler of the Week, Mike. I'm sticking along with some AEW action, and you know what? Sometimes you don't need to flip. You don't need to bleed. You don't need to crash through something. We don't need a Mamma Mia moment. Sometimes you can just be impressed with what's happening in front of your fucking face. So this week I'm giving my Wrestler of the Week to none other than Dustin Rhodes. The natural man,
yeah,
whatever we call him. What a fantastic way to kick off Dynamite. Took the loss, but oh my god, I was so into that match the entire time. It was the most entertaining that I had felt all week, and for that reason, Dustin Rhodes. It's been a while since we've seen you on this list, I think.
Yeah, but we know he's capable of a 5-star match. So any week, look out.
We've seen him a couple times.
Prince of Perversion.
We've seen him twice now. He is a 2-time Wrestler of the Week champion now. So, Dustin Rhodes, congratulations. Congratulations to all the other performers for the week. And that's all the time that we have for the show. Rate, review, like, and subscribe. The show is everywhere, and we'll be back next week. We have a lot to look forward to now. Backlash. We got fucking Double or Nothing. We got the Forbidden Door. The beginning of the early summer, late spring is shaping up to be one hell of a next couple months.
Yeah, spring breaking's coming along.
Spring broken.
Get out your surfboards. Spring broken. Spring Braun Breaker.
Spring Braun Breaker, baby. And we'll be back next week. Thanks for listening, folks. Mike, you take care of yourself.
All right. Surf's up.